Hey guys, welcome back to the Fragrance Station. My name is Manny, and I'm back with an undoubtedly cold weather scent. It's Dior Homme Parfum by the house of Christian Dior. A welcome addition to the Dior Homme line of fragrances, Dior Homme Parfum was introduced solely in a 75ml bottle by the house of Christian Dior in 2014. Characterized as a leather fragrance, the nose behind this scent is Mr. Dior Homme himself, François Demachy, and its notes, according to Fragrantica, are Italian orange and mainly iris at the top, rose and mainly leather in the heart, and ambrette, cedar, oud, and mainly sandalwood in the base. Now I say mainly for iris, leather, and sandalwood because you don't get a whole lot of everything else in this fragrance, and everything else is pretty much the supporting cast. Starting with the opening, that iris is super obvious like it is with Dior Homme Intense. That being said, unlike DHI, iris isn't the most dominant note here. Al from Street Scents mentioned this in his review of DHP, and I completely get it as well, that the leather becomes really evident about after a minute from the initial spray on your skin. This isn't your Tom Ford, animalic, and smooth Tuscan leather type scent. This is a dark, aggressive kind of leather, somewhat reminiscent of a new Hermes handbag or something like that. Like you get that kind of leather for a good hour with a bit of a powdery vibe. Into the dry down, the creamy Sri Lankan sandalwood really chimes in. By this time, the leather is still very prominent, but it isn't as in your face in this stage thanks to the sandalwood's creaminess and a little bit of oud. Presentation wise, it comes in a standard Dior Homme paper box. Not a whole lot going on here, but I don't expect much for a designer box. The bottle is way too cool though, clearly part of the Dior Homme line of fragrances. CD Christian Dior branding on the black plastic cap and Dior Homme Parfum on the front of the bottle. Removing the cap, you have Dior Homme inscription on the neck of the sprayer, and the rest is pretty much all black everything. Onto scores, if I had to rate this presentation out of 5 stars, it gets a 4. Firstly, in comparison to everything else in the DH line, you see that there's more glass around the bottom edges of the bottle. This is done because I guess Dior didn't really want to make a 75ml bottle that much smaller in outer dimensions than the standard 100ml. They instead added more glass inside, which makes the darker DHP liquid look even more potent when in comparison to the other DH fragrances. I'm not sure if they are trying to purposely convey that, but I like it. And I like the standard look of DH rectangular bottles already, so I'll give DHP a 4 out of 5 stars for presentation. Moving on to my scent rating, DHP gets another 4 out of 5. Guys, sometimes I can't get by how aggressive the leather is in the heart. I will honestly put this on and then wait at least an hour until I leave the house. That's because I like this fragrance most by the hour mark, when the sandalwood would have smoothed the leather out in the dry down real nice. At this point, if I were to take a whiff of DHP from my skin, I'll get the iris that's been hiding since the immediate opening, and then get the leather with the creamy sandalwood. The combination is an absolute home run in my opinion, but the leather for me is too rugged up until that hour mark, and maybe I'll grow into liking it eventually, but for now, DHP gets a 4 out of 5. Next, we have the performance category, and DHP unequivocally earns a 5 out of 5. We're talking at least 12 hours of longevity, and that's by simply spraying once on each neck pulse point and once on each of my wrists. With that, you get very good sillage and projection for at least 4 hours. It radiates beautifully for about more than an arm's length within this time. I'm absolutely loving that and the 12 easy hours of longevity, so as a result, I have to give DHP a 5 out of 5 for performance. Next rating is versatility, and DHP gets a 4 out of 5. This is undoubtedly a masculine, cool weather scent with its potent composition being able to handle near extreme temperatures, and I love it for that. But it still has a relatively formal vibe to it. So for me, if I'm going out in DHP, at first thought it'll likely be to a fall or winter nightly special occasion, or maybe a dinner date. I'd say dinner date with a girl I've been dating for a while that I know likes this scent. But if it's only for a first or second date kind of thing, I'd probably reach for YSL's La Nuit de l'Homme, or something else that's a little bit more universally seductive if I really want to make a keen first impression. But recently, I've been wearing a lot more rugged scents that are definitely masculine and geared towards just younger than middle-aged men and up. As a matter of fact, I've been reaching for this stuff quite often with this cooler weather, and quite frankly, it feels equally awesome wearing this stuff on cold nights out with the guys as it does on formal occasions. But I don't think that the majority of other mid-20-year-olds will share my boldness in trying to rock this in casual nights out as well. And for that, DHP only gets a 4 out of 5 for versatility. Last rating is for compliments, and DHP gets a 3 out of 5. It's definitely a mature scent that commands respect, and I swear some ladies love it. One of my best friend's girlfriends gave me a super sweet compliment. She asked, "What are you wearing? I like it, it's strong." And I kind of felt bad for my homie because the DHP completely overpowered what he was wearing, and his girl so happened to really like it. So what did I do? I told them it was DHP, and now she's getting it for him for Christmas. So it definitely has potential to be an amazing compliment getter when worn at an upscale bar, restaurant, or formal occasion. I just can't give this one a 5, let alone a 4, because the amount of compliments that I get for it really pale in comparison to your DHI, Aventus, and La Nuit de l'Homme of the world. But since there are still a decent amount of people who like DHP on me, and when I say like, I mean borderline love, I at the very least have to give DHP a 3 out of 5 for compliments. So there it is, folks. Dior Homme Parfum in total earns a respectable 20 out of 25 stars from me. If I could describe DHP in a few words, it's rugged elegance in a bottle. But if you solely wanted a more durable DHI alone, with that dominant lipsticky iris assisted by that lavender and vanilla, then DHP is not for you. But if you're looking for something totally masculine, with a dark edginess and no performance issues that you can use in either a suit and tie event or a night out, then Dior Homme Parfum may be the fragrance for you. And that about does it for my review of Dior Homme Parfum. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I swear I am getting a heck of a whole lot of uses in this cooler weather. I think it's an amazing scent for those nights out and those formal occasions. So if you guys haven't jumped on this yet or sampled it, I suggest you at least do that, because I think it's worthy of the Dior Homme name, and I think it's a worthy addition to any fragrance lover's collection. So please do jump on this Dior Homme Parfum and tell me in the comments section below if you guys like the scent, and if you guys want to see a different kind of fragrance review of some sort, just let me know as well, and hopefully I can get to that in the future. Give me a like if you guys like this video, and subscribe if you haven't yet and you want to see more fragrance content. So thanks again for watching, guys. My name is Manny. Take care. Bye. Happy holidays.